Welcome to Brilliant Masterful Transcripts, the podcast. Brilliant talks. I've got host Simeon, which is going to be talking with the main cast of Grande Part 1 drama series. Alright, over to Simeon.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. How you guys doing, man?
Hey man.
Hey.
It's good, man. I've got some questions to ask you guys. It's going to be really good.
Let's
We're going to have fun, you know. But let's first start by introducing yourselves. So
I think I'm a bad guy, but I'm not sure. Well, also it gets confusing between real life. And the story. So in this, my name is Dariusz, and I'm playing the uncle, Roger, Viktor, Roger, and I'm a double agent, but a good one, I think. So it took me a while actually to. Actually, I'm not going to go into this. Just introduction. This is who I am. That's it. I stop now. Yeah.
Right. I'm Elisa Flores. I'm kind of the one pulling the strings. I won't say she's the bad boss. She has her motives. But yeah, a lot has happened. Hopefully you get to understand her motives and why she does what she does and who she really is deep connected with. And yeah, this is it.
nice. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so I play Alex, and the kind of character he is that obviously he just came out of jail. His uncle's obviously trying to help him to better his life, but obviously things go the opposite way. He loses his uncle, and after he decides to go down the wrong path, he also has a little young G.
Yeah,
That's what
young apprentice.
Yeah, and he kind of makes him go down the wrong path. So his young G basically looks up to him, and he's like a role model to him. So yeah.
No, of course.
Yep. My name is Simon. I play the character of Grande Padre. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. I'm a truly horrible, nasty piece of work. Not in real life, only for the character. I terrorise this young man, Alex.
Nice.
Real name Eric, and make his life a misery in terms of mind games, everything really, extortion,
Gaslighting,
suggested violence. But this lady here is also my boss, who I've never met in real life, but we meet on the phone in the film. Yeah, she's not too nice either. But lovely to meet in person.
hierarchy chain of not niceness.
So it's not a lot of nice people in the film, I don't think.
I'm nice.
We've not met, but there you are.
Yep.
Over to you, sir.
Oh, mad. So I'm Daniel. I don't really go by my government name anymore. The streets call me Inkz. I'm kind of a bit of a lost kid since that my dad was murdered. So I kind of reach out for the only family that I have. End up finding my cousin, and he sort of leads me down the wrong path, so to speak. But at the time, that's the only sort of family you know. So that's the sort of way you end up going down. Unfortunately, but more was explained during the film.
Nice. So with the characters' mindsets, what do you think about what they're going through, their mindset and all, like their backstory and stuff?
Yeah, you're looking at me, I guess. Yeah, no, that's fine. So it took a while to kind of get into the mindset of this uncle, Viktor Roger, because he wants to do good for his niece, and then he has to deal with all this other stuff, like the Grand Padre, for example, who's on everyone's case.
Because I'm on his case.
Well, exactly.
That's the food chain there.
Absolutely. So you end up, as a character, you end up questioning what you're doing is right and wrong, and there's dilemmas in parallels in real life as well, obviously, because you maybe not as dramatically, but it's deep. Actually, it's very deep, because you end up doing not so nice stuff, but you find ways to excuse yourself, or find justifications for it, and that's hard.
That's the thing. It's like when you watch like some stuff, or like if you're in that situation, you have to like make decisions or make choices of what you have to do. And I see that when I was watching the film.
Yeah,
Like he wants to look after his niece.
that's right.
You know? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. So it gets very emotional actually. You know, if you really get into the character, it gets emotional because you're doing not pretty stuff, and but you feel like you have no other way, but because no other choice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. On to you.
Yes.
Nasty one.
The
Nasty
nasty
one. You know?
You know, to be fair, I feel like she has a lot on her plate. So when you meet her in the story, she just has taken over the organization, right?
Yeah.
Her mother, Sophia, used to work with Marcus directly, Grande, Padre. So she just stepped into her shoes. And there's a lot of pressure. There are things that need to be done, and they need to be done right.
Yeah.
And there's no time to waste. So she's very ambitious, she's dedicated, but she's also very straight to the point, and she doesn't want to waste time. She needs reliable people, and when that doesn't happen, she kind of loses it a bit, which is justified in my perspective, so I can understand that. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure for her, and she really just wants to honor the family's business and her mother Sophia, which was the big boss. Yeah, so I kind of understand where she's coming from, and I understand why she acts the way she acts, but she's more of a side character in the whole story.
Yeah.
That you kind of unlock throughout, and she still remains a bit of a mystery. But yeah, I relate to her in a way that we all have our goals, and we all want to go somewhere, and we have to do whatever, you know, it takes to get there.
Yeah, it's all kill or no filler with her.
Exactly, it is. And now she's just stepping in someone else's shoes, like I said, her mother, and she has worked with Grande Padre before, but she really still doesn't know how to deal with him, because he likes to do things his way, right? And she wants things to be done her way.
Yeah,
so this relationship kind of is a bit of a conflicting one. Yeah.
Like magnets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much, but she knows she can count on him on one way or the other.
Yeah.
But she's also pushing it to see how far he can go and how well he can do the job.
No, yeah, of course, it's like that's what it's all about, you know. Yep. Now,
I feel what Alex was currently going through. I think from the beginning, like I think there was like a sense of relief him coming out of jail. So the fact that he's been in jail for so many years, he's coming out. It's obviously going to be like, oh, like I'm finally out and I'm out. But obviously as well as having an uncle, someone that he can look up to, I think it's a thing where I think it was good for him. He went through a stage where it was good that he had like a role model there, but he starts to go through pain, a lot of pain. The fact that he's lost someone that was dearly close to him. Yeah. So Alex goes through a lot of pain. And, you know, as that tough guy, do you get what I'm saying? That reputation that you've got, you don't want to show people that you're weak and that how you're truly feeling, but that image that you portray to others, you're going to expect people to look and you thinking, yeah, he is that tough guy, but he actually isn't. There's something inside of him which really hurts. As well as Alex going through pain, I feel like there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure that he's obviously going through, because obviously there's a couple things that he wants his young G to do, and obviously his young G makes mistakes. He's having specific phone conversations, whereas he's got to do certain things and he's got a certain amount of time to be able to do it in. So there was a lot of pressure on Alex. I think Alex probably goes through a lot of mixed emotions of pain and stress. And yeah, that's what I can say really.
He's got a whole buffet on his plate. You know
Whole
what I mean?
buffet, man. For real.
No, that's good. Yeah.
I think with my character Grande Padre, still can never pronounce it correctly. Despite that hard exterior and that black heart, there is a soul.
Yeah.
None of us have seen it.
Yeah. You're seeing it today, darlings. You'll sing it out. And I think with obviously Eric, who plays Alex, he is like a son to me. You know, there is a deep love, but he doesn't know actually how to show it.
Yeah,
He's never been loved himself.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and he doesn't want to let. He wants the best for him, but he also manipulates Alex, continually.
Yeah.
Mind games. But he does love him in a weird and wonderful way.
In a sick, twisted way.
Sick,
innit?
twisted way. Sick, twisted way.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really. I mean, but I think that the whole interesting thing is my character was London-born but raised in Jamaica, so there was a slight accent which me couldn't do very well. Try. Was it Duppy? That's the word.
Duppy,
Ghosting. What's it go on, Kemroy director? Everything airy. But no, I kept it very London for the character. Very all right, sweethearts. And no, that's about it for me. So yes, over to this young man.
Yeah.
I felt with my character there was a lot of questions, especially when you kind of don't know where to go in life type thing, because you're quite at a young, vulnerable age. So you're kind of just looking out for some sort of figure, some sort of connection. And especially the way, like, my character's dad died, you don't know why or what's happened or, what caused it or, like, who did it. There's just a lot of whys and stuff like that. So you end up, questioning what's going to happen next and what's the next steps. And, again, it then ties into revenge kind of a thing, because that's, you want to basically get revenge on who did it and stuff like that. And then when you find out your cousin's, like, back in action, then it's again raising more questions. It's like why, what did he do? Because you'll be at a younger age to, like, not realize him going, like, away for, like, a long time type thing. Like, you never know, you could just see him as going away on holiday. That was the way it might be explained to you type thing. So for them to, like, an older person to come back into your life and stuff like that, it's then a question of, like, why, what did he did, why did he do it? It's constant whys, or, like, why should I do this? Like why did he want me to do this? It's a constant state of why. That's what I've found, really.
Yeah, because it's like, I tend to find it, because it's like, when I was watching it, it was more of him dealing with his grief, because he lost his dad, innit? So it's like him attaching to somebody who is not a similar age, but is older, more like a father figure. Do you think he's like a father figure to you?
I'll say so, in a way, in the way that he's someone I attached to and, like, looked up to and stuff like that. And I would say kind of wanted to impress. Like, you can see via my actions and being willing to, do the stuff that I was doing. It's more in a way of I was, like, looking up to him, like, seeking his approval in a way that it wasn't 100% attained from my dad. So having to have someone come into my life and then be like, all right, cool, like, this is the person I have to, in a sense, go back home to or spend a huge majority of my time with. That's now someone I've, you naturally form a connection with.
Yeah.
Like, so from that, like, it's because you're naturally, from the start, looking up to them. They're sort of telling you what to do, etc. You naturally, kind of see them as a father figure, whether, like, indirectly or not, so to speak.
No, yeah, of
You need a
course.
role model, I suppose, right? So you're looking for someone to guide you.
Yeah, so let me see. The struggles of the characters have gone through to get through the point where they are at that point, or where they are at now.
Say it again, please.
Sorry, I'm terrible with words.
Yeah.
So the struggles that the characters have gone through is to get them to the point where they're at now.
I'll get someone else to start first.
Yeah, I can start if you want.
Yeah.
So I guess this goes back a little bit to the previous question, isn't it? I think for Elisa, she's kind of been preparing for this her whole life, with her mother in charge. She's been watching from the sidelines. She knew she had to do it. But it kind of came by surprise because she got murdered on the accident with brother John. So she knew she wanted to do it. She was kind of preparing herself, but she wasn't expecting it to happen at that moment. And with the whole situation with Alex, that he kind of messed up things for her to the point that Elisa and Marcus had to leave the country for a while. And there was just a lot going on, a lot to deal with, and she's ambitious, but she's ruthless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she had to give up a lot to kind of make her mum proud, and to make things go according to the plan. And Alex is just messing the whole plan.
Yeah.
So she has a lot that she needs to deal with, a lot that she has to sort out. But it's good that she has Marcus, or I keep calling Marcus, well, Grande Padre, along, because she kind of takes charge of it as well. The problem with this kind of triangle relationship is that you really want to protect Alex. And I just want to get rid of them because he is just not working, and we don't have time to waste.
Yeah. He just wants to cut to the chase, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Elisa wants to be efficient. But then there's all these people messing everything.
So she's more like a perfectionist than anything else.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I was actually intrigued because you said like her mum got murdered. I was like, ooh.
Well, we don't get to go that deep into the story, but the story is her mother got killed in a car accident with Brother John. But I don't think that's disclosure on the story much, or maybe it will be in the future. Who knows? Yeah, like I said, she's a bit of a mystery character, but she's one character that you can look at and you can be like, yeah, she's the one controlling everything. She's the bossy lady. Very easy to read in a way.
Yeah, nice. Alex.
What was the question? Just
I'm terrible at work.
So much. I forgot.
Yeah, so
I think you covered my part actually.
A little
oh,
bit, yeah.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Two birds with one stone.
Right? Yeah. Boss ladies covered me.
So the struggles that the character has gone through to get them to the point of where they're at now.
Yeah. Ooh. All right.
That's a big one for you.
Okay, cool. I think, let me be honest. The struggles that Alex went through to where he is now, I think it was just all unexpected. When you see from the beginning, when he comes out of jail, like when people come out of jail or they've kind of lived that kind of lifestyle, they come out and it's either they go back into that lifestyle or they try to change it. So knowing Alex coming out of jail and obviously his uncle trying to help him to get a better life was probably the route that he was thinking, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. But not knowing, things just changed. And because things changed, his uncle's gone. He's got no role model. So I think where he is now, he's in a predicament where a lot of things are just happening, which are just, he doesn't know what's going to come. He doesn't know who he's going to meet. He doesn't know what's going to happen the next day. So I think the struggles to where he is now, it's just, he can't answer that question.
Yeah, it's like an uphill battle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just up and down and things are just going left. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. Inkz?
I'll say like a character has got a lot of anger. Just I feel before it was more like pent up, but then it's now just come to the surface, to the point where it's just like it just wakes up in like sort of like either just anger or just consumed with like rage kind of a thing. I feel like the time spent with like my cousin etc. has sort of led me down that sort of like dark path, like you know where you know you're in a sense committing violence and stuff like that. So it's more about, I'd say, channeling that like sort of anger and that pent up frustration and like maybe trying to change it into like something good. Like I feel like all of those questions have led either kind of like gone down to some like a good way or like a bad way, and then like it's sort of turned down to like the wrong sort of side to the point where you know it's committing crimes, etc. But yeah, it's just not a good look the way he's going, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like I think he needs some good guidance.
Yeah, like a good role model and all that.
Yeah, so to speak.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I kind of thought of whilst listening, which was brilliant actually. It's realizing that things are not perfect in life, and then coming to terms with your own honesty to yourself, and realizing that there are things in life which you cannot control. Some things, the only thing you can control is your values.
Yeah.
Because if you got your values straight, so for my character, the values were protecting the family, for example. So that was an important thing. So you, on the one hand, things you can control is your values. You cannot control what other people do. It's like people like that, right? And then, but being who I am, I'm a double agent. So I've got skills that allow me to react to things fairly quickly and adapt it to my advantage.
Yeah.
My advantage here is actually to protect my niece. So I'm a little bit cold. My attitude is a little bit cold towards it because I'm very calculated, but there's a good intention behind it.
Yeah, because you were caught in the crossfire of it all in the triangle, so you had to roll the punches.
That's right. And then finding a way, like a maze through it all of this is happening, and staying cool in it, all that stuff that's going on, to get the result that you want, and knowing full well things don't go always the way you plan them to.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, and you kind of adapt as you go along.
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
If I may add to it, I feel like most of the characters really, they just trying desperately to gain this control you're talking about because of all these aspects that just happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're really trying, but it's just things keep happening
Yeah,
and
things
happening and
things
happening,
happen.
and they keep having to adapt. And yeah, it's just I think the journey is that trying to get control of your life.
Yeah, that's the thing. Did in the film have you guys seen any similarities to your characters at all?
Oh,
Between actor and
yeah,
characters.
actor and character.
Totally. There's so many. I mean, not literally like I'm gonna, be a double agent for the Russians and not at that.
Could be.
But you're making the same kind of decisions all the time, which I think what makes the story powerful is because yes, we are dramatizing it. We're using actually stuff that's happening all the time in London, in the London setting, but it's the decisions that we make every day on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of contrast and the same kind of so your question actually, which made me kind of pause for a little bit. The question was like, what do we have to go through to get to where we are? We do it every single day, and that's what makes it, I think, the story powerful because and the same compromises, the same questions you have to ask yourself, and with equally damaging results.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe we don't end up shot, but maybe other things happen mentally. That's shit that happens to us. On the mental health that either we rescue ourselves or not, depending which path we choose to take.
Yeah, because like you gotta protect your family. Like, in your character, you gotta protect your niece and all that.
Yeah.
Because these guys just come in with their stuff, and it's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like, you had no choice but to
Absolutely.
get killed and shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at every single point, both my character and everyone, we all have potential choices to make.
Yeah.
And then those choices will, and I think I'll go back to that question of value. Those choices will reflect what are the real values we have in our lives. And that, going back to your current question, is like, and that goes back into our real lives. It's our values that drive our choices all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Now we may think like, oh yeah, I value health, but then I end up spending all my day watching telly and playing games.
Yeah.
Well, do I really? No, I want to have that value, but my value is something else actually, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing goes there. Do I value my family? Right? And okay, if I put everything on at stake to make sure my family is safe, in my character, then yes, that is my value. But it takes courage to admit it to yourself, I think.
Yeah, it takes great courage.
For sure.
Yeah.
Me and Elisa, I don't think we have much in common, to be absolutely honest. No, absolutely not. I can relate to her ambition, for sure. But she's way more ruthless than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think in a conversation, if I were to have a conversation with her, I don't think she wouldn't like me much. No, because I try to stay optimistic regarding, you know, life and things that happen that are not planned. And I keep moving forward. And she does that in a way. But if she needs to get rid of someone, she will.
Yeah.
She's very cold in that sense.
Cold and calculating.
Exactly. Very, very. And those are not particularly bad characteristics.
Yeah.
You know? But it wouldn't work with me, per se, as a person.
Yeah, it's depending on who you are.
100%. 100%. But like I said, yeah, she's very protective of the people that she cares or of the people that are useful for her. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely. And I would be protective of anyone around me.
Yeah, that's good.
You know? So yeah, no, I don't relate much to her in that sense.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. Yeah, Alex.
I think in a way I can say I can relate to Alex in a sense where the fact that he's hiding that pain inside of him, so people looking for, yeah, he's fine, he's cool, like he's doing whatever he needs to do, but people actually don't know how he's truly feeling on the inside. And I've been in like a situation where people look at me and think I'm okay, but I'm not actually okay inside. And I think it's not just me. I think that just goes for everyone.
Yeah.
Men, women.
Yeah.
So we can hide our pain inside, and we can actually put on like a little image to make people think that we're okay or I'm okay, but we're not. So that's what I can say. Yeah.
People always say the grass is green on the other side, but you don't know what it's like behind.
I think you summed that up brilliantly.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
There was that great Robin, the actor who took his own life.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Tragic. He was always wanted to make other people laugh, but deep down inside, he was hurting.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of comedians. I won't mention their names. Well known. Mike Yarmouth was our late Queen loved this guy back in the 70s and 80s, showing my age, and he had to drink a bottle of vodka before he went on stage, and so there was this whole thing. We do try and hide it, especially in today's world on social media. It's like everything's great, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see a lot of things because, like, I see a lot of stuff, and like, obviously I've gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
Like seeing guys who have gone through pain, such as your characters, and like, all of our characters, they've gone through like some sort of pain. Like I said, you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Like you see the most funniest person on the stage, they could be the most warm and friendliest person, but inside they could be broken. Like that's the thing.
And it's scary how sorry to
I was gonna say, basically, like, I did sociology at like uni and stuff like that, and you covered kind of what you're talking about in terms of like you have like people have a sort of front that they'll show to people. It's kind of like a front stage and a backstage. And like the front stage, you know, the stuff that you'll show to people, be happy, etc., etc. And then the backstage is like, when you're like to yourself, etc., and how you feel and everything. And it kind of shows that, you won't always see people's backstage kind of a thing. So, see when people are lonely and how they feel.
I think I've come across an article recently about Marcus Aurelius and how he was publicly admired for his greatness, etc. But he kept a journal, and in the journal he wrote very negative things. So the point that kind of made on me is, unless you find a way of dealing with the negativity, with the trauma, because we all go through trauma, and unless you find a way of dealing with it somehow, you get messed up. And so the journal for him was, he wrote a journal that it's well known today, but he didn't write it for others. He wrote it for himself. The journal was for him to process the trauma, the negativity. so that he could stay sane on the outside. And I think, like what you said earlier, you know, very often we have this public face, you know, especially with social media. I think you mentioned. So a friend reached out to me recently, and she was saying that she had a breakdown during Christmas because everyone's putting all these nice stories on Insta and everything else, and she felt so sad. And then she posted pictures of herself, you know, with skin condition. She's a supermodel normally, but then she came out like, look, I'm feeling shit, and I can't stand seeing all this.
I think
Yeah.
I think like social media, for example, is I feel like, I'm not saying for you, like, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people, they feel like their life is based on social media. Like this is
Put so much pressure, right?
It puts a lot of pressure on people that are viewing social media, all these apps and whatnot. And I like, there's times where I do look on social media and I do see like my friends, and I feel like, okay, yeah, you're progressing, you're doing well, you're doing this, you're doing that. But like going back to my character, like you actually don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
right.
They're actually not happy people. So there's times where I always tell my man, yeah, I know social media is not real life, but then when I see people, I'm like, okay, you're doing well. But then when I see or if I hear something that they go through, I'm like, rah. I didn't actually, I wouldn't expect it. So it kind of,
it's scary.
It's a scary thing.
It's really scary how we're normalizing this. How important has become to show how well you're doing and not really taking care of yourself. And when you find out these things about your friends and people around you, everyone is just so shocked because what's really happening in their lives, they don't publish that. For people to know about that.
They only post that good, happy moment, just in that current moment. They're never going to post the bad bits. It's just the good bits.
That is the key thing, is because I think unless you accept that there is the negativity and there's positivity in our lives, you need both.
Balance.
Right? You need balance. But everything out there is just like, look how well I'm doing, etc. Yes,
happy I am.
right? And no one posts like, today I was gaseous and I felt it more times than any other day, right? No one posts that. But that's real life. You know, I got, you know, my friend didn't, you know, is not doing well, and I'm feeling shit. No one puts that stuff up, right? He's just like, I've got a new role, I've got this.
You see people being successful, and you'd be like, oh, that's good, but you don't know that this guy got rejected so many times just for them to get to where they need to be.
You can get 20 rejections and then you can get one success.
And that is the reality. That is the reality.
It's life, innit?
Yeah, and going back to the project, is just refreshing to see how real all of these characters are. And how they deal with stuff. And it's quite eye-opening. Yeah, it's refreshing. We need more realness.
Of course.
dear.
So what would so if you see your character and yourself, do you see the similarities?
Total opposites. I do always seem to get villainous roles. When I had the longer hair, it was more different, but villainous roles. But no, I think the only thing is the only thing that I would say my personal relation to the character would be determination. That would be the main thing. But I'm quite I'm a tree hugger. I love people, you know. Nice. So whereas, you know, my character, as I say, doesn't really care for anyone. Would step on anyone to get to the next level. I don't think he's ever been loved. Never will love. Has an affection for Alex, in a weird way. Again, probably the only thing in his life, really.
But doesn't know how to show it. Even.
And so no, that's the only thing. Just the determination. But that's about it. Nothing else. No, I'm a nice guy.
Nice. That's good. That's good. I don't want to get on your bad side.
That's it.
Nice.
Yep. I know for me and my character, we both look about 16. So like that's I know one similarity.
How old are you, by the way?
Yeah, I want
12.
How old are you, by the way?
You'll be surprised.
How old are you? I'm just
I'm 27.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. That was my reaction. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way.
Yeah,
I thought it was 12.
27.
No, that's not possible.
He told me his age. We did some filming
no
together.
way in this goddamn earth you would get served in a bar or an off license. You must get it all the time.
It's a struggle,
You don't even look 18.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Like I usually people, I'm like, oh, what? Like have a guess on like my age. Like you like most people get it wrong. I won't be offended. And they like if they get higher than like say like 21, I'm like, oh yep, it means I'm getting older.
Darling, what's the face cream you're using?
Like I know, I just haven't aged. Like I was showing friends like photos like when I was like a proper child, and it was like, yeah, you haven't aged.
Born with eternal youth.
Bro's got good genes, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of genes.
That's
the
what-
When
Levi's.
I go to the store, when I sometimes you go to the self-service thing, I'll do like a glass of wine, you put the wine down, and they don't challenge me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Challenge me, please.
Yeah.
Ask me if I'm over,
No. They always challenge me, bro.
I believe it. Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
You know, like when I used to work in like a
Wait,
store.
hang about. So when you were how old was your character? 16 in the
Yeah.
film. So when
Yeah.
you were 16, you must have looked like you were in an incubator, like a baby.
I looked at
Have you got a picture of you on your phone when you were like 12 or
like,
16? He was just like a little beta. I said,
Like
weird.
Rugrat, bro.
facial. It's just me with like nothing like that.
You stopped aging after like 13, I guess. So you just
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, actually, if you were to shave off the facial hair,
Oh,
that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I've never touched it. I've
Crazy.
never touched a razor like in my life. Like.
Because it would
Even
just
when I
make
go
you
to the
even
barbers and
younger.
they want to fix it, I'm just like, well, careful.
traumatized.
Like, you know, I've been growing this 26, 7 years now.
Have you got brothers or sisters?
Yeah,
Are they all eternal
they're all
looking?
tall. They all look their age. I just got. It's like there's
crazy.
a photo of all of us in like a line, and then it's literally like in a line, like you know, I'm just the shortest one. I'm just like.
An
When did you turn
ascending line.
27?
Yeah.
When did you turn 27?
That's the most
That's
shock.
the same as
That's
my
the most
birthday.
shocking.
I'm mad.
Hey, you know I turned 30.
Huh?
I turned 30.
Oh,
Yeah,
mad.
man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. You don't believe me, innit?
About 50, love. No, I'm joking. It's just bizarre.
At least general age.
How can there be a 3-year difference between you two? You need to do a film on this. You need to do a film. The great thing is, have you ever seen a show called The In-Betweeners?
Yeah.
When they filmed that, they were actually sort of 26, 27, and they were playing kids at school, difficult age of 15, 16. So, but that's just incredible. That's
I think they were playing like sixth form people.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I could probably sneak into some schools as well.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, man. Well,
Don't mention that on. Don't mention. Best not to mention that on the podcast, young man.
No, it's not a case of, like,
Sneak into some schools.
like, it's like 'cause I've worked with kids. Whatever,
Yes.
and like it's so annoying because it's like I was working with kids and they're like all like way taller than me, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, they're gonna I did this thing called like Angleville, whatever. You work with like kids, and like on the first day, they actually thought that I was. You know, like one of them.
Kids,
'cause, like, yeah, I was just like,
I've got to ask you. It's very personal. You can say yes or no. Are you in a relationship with anyone?
not now.
You have been.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, it's been fine.
It's been fine.
I think
No,
Grand
when
Padre
if
wants to
you're
know
dating a
if
girl
she
the
was
same
12
age,
or 13.
It would be like so. It would be like me. I'm trying to put this into perspective. It'd be me going to a bar today and chatting to us because you look so young.
Yeah.
It'd be like an old man like me chatting to a sort of 15-year-old girl. Like, what's going on there? Don't let me anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's just so the girlfriend or boyfriend that you had or whatever, the relationship you had, were they the same age?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but they looked older. Okay.
hard-hitting questions right there.
It's a real alien situation for you, isn't it?
Like people I've been with, they haven't been like young looking in that sense. In the sense that you mean.
Just because you look so good and so young for your age, it's just I'd never in a million years put you down as 27. Honestly, I wouldn't have put you over. I wouldn't have.
But
When,
it's
if
more
you'd
the
have said
case
over
of,
20,
like-
I'd have gone. No way.
I mean, I always have IDs, so it's not.
I know.
Just in case.
So
I know, yeah.
to your date, you can always say, "Look, I'm as old as you are."
Like I used to work in like what was it? Like say M&S and Waitrose, etc. People be like, "Oh, you don't look old enough to work here." And then when they'll be buying when they'll be buying alcohol, I'll be like, "Oh, your ID looks fake." Like to, get back at one of them and stuff like that, and like
It's like that's crazy. Do you have to like shop at like the place that you're working just to get the alcohol?
No, it's never been like that. It's more just a case of like always have to have ID. The worst case was when I was at uni and they didn't like believe me like to get in type thing, even though like I had like my ID on me as well. I had to like, because the bartenders at uni, they all knew me because obviously I look so young, so they had to like you know, I had to be like, oh, you know, this guy knows me, so to speak, and then thankfully got that.
It's a blessing and a curse.
No, it is a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, casting directors must love you because you know they always want older actors to play younger.
Yeah. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
No,
you can definitely play it in your
At
favor.
my age, I'd rather look my age rather than, you know, because people are like, oh, yeah, you'll be so grateful when you're older. And I'm just like, when I'm older, I don't want to look younger than my kids.
You know what? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. When you're like 50 or 60, like you might look like late 20s.
You can always make. I've noticed from you can always from characters. You can always make people look older. It's very difficult to make them look younger.
True. Yes.
So it's easy to dress you up to be different with whatever you know. But to go back in time, it's a lot harder. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a really good blessing.
I've noticed it's the people that look young that want to look their age, and it's the ones that look older that would like to look younger.
Yeah,
Very true.
Crazy.
Very true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You always want what you don't have, isn't it?
yeah,
That's
like I want to
Yeah.
I want to look my age. I don't want to.
So you're the only person or one of the few people who's comfortable in your own shoes in a way,
Yeah.
which is good, which
Yeah.
means you're comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Because I remember when I was younger, I wasn't taken seriously. I felt I wasn't taken seriously enough.
Yeah.
So one of my other jobs is I'm an architect as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was working on this project, and
Yeah.
and then the client said, "You don't look old enough to be doing this." And I was like, "Oh, right."
Yeah.
And I started growing, and I had a goatee at the time, so I started growing a goatee.
the purpose of facial hair.
I'm sorry to cut you guys off, but I've got another question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We're going off track.
Yeah.
What do you guys think would be next for your guys' characters?
I think, and I could be cheating here, but I think speaking to the gods, you know, of the show, I think there might be a romance of some sort.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I feel that with Elisa is pretty simple. She just wants to get the organization back up with everything that has happened with the downfall, kind of like Alex's fault. just saying. Yeah, she definitely wants to. She wants to control more. She wants to take charge more. Yeah, so I can see her planning a lot of different things.
No, yeah.
But in terms of relationship within the characters, I don't know where that will go. I don't know if she will ever interact with Alex directly.
Yeah.
If it will come to that point, if something is going to happen, you know, with I forgot the character's name.
Inkz.
Inkz, thank you. With Inkz, yeah, I don't know if she will take things into her own hands. If she'll get to that point, if it will get that serious. But it will be interesting to see, actually.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with Alex. In terms of his relationship with Inkz, that's just unquestionable. I can't even question that.
Yeah.
Women. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But there probably will be more women coming my way.
One of the questions I'm going to be asking. It's going to be one of the questions I'm going to be asking.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You know what? I'll wait for that question to come and answer it.
Well, that's down to the scriptwriter, Lord Blair, over there in the corner. But I was hoping that my character would just have a fantastic time with beautiful models. Non-stop champagne. I'm hoping for that. I'd make a lot of money. I'd get away from this lovely lady here. Make this even though I love him, and make his life a misery. Nice. He makes me lots of money, and I just live happily in this amazing apartment and just champagne, gorgeous women, palm trees,
and lots of footage of you enjoying your life, right?
Yeah.
Enjoying your life,
Austin Powers stuff. Shagadelic. And so that would be that. So Cameron, Lord Blair, if you could write that in, that would be great, and I would appreciate that. And if you're gonna, and I'll definitely be on board for the next series. If you don't do that, you'll have to speak to my agent. Right.
Football complaint.
Well, I predict a growth spurt and a bunch of facial hair.
You mean
Honestly, I was
platform
like-
shoes and
I can see it going down like a bunch of ways. Like either just committing more and more like violence type thing, just like or maybe like going down to like something positive. You never know. It's nice to I like the sort of mystery element because you never know like what way it can go down. You can either keep going down like the wrong way or you know surprise a couple people. I'm open to all types of options. Like you know the way the story ended, not finished, or part one ended, it leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it develops.
Nice, I can't wait to see it. So I'm going to be asking questions for like one characters. Some of the questions you guys already answered midway through, but I'll ask anyways, innit? Let me know if you already answered it. But Eric, you did some intimacy scenes.
Lucky
You did like 2 of them.
To my parents.
Yeah.
How did you prepare for it? Were you like nervous for it at all?
I'll be real and honest. I wasn't really that nervous. It's just because I've never done an intimacy scene like that before, so it was new to me. So I remember I used to ask the director like a lot of questions like what actually happens in an intimacy, how does it go, what can you do, what you can't do, like there was just a lot of questions. I like to ask questions anyway.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was that nervous. Just went as myself, just being myself, but obviously become the character. But just just going there, just being confident, just being calm, and everything will flow. But yeah, it was a good experience. So I can actually understand what goes on in that intimacy scene and how it's run and whatnot. So yeah. It's just all about learning and just gaining experience. So yeah.
It's not an easy thing doing that.
No,
kind of thing.
it's not because
Especially
they'll
with
tell
cameras
you,
and shit.
yeah, and they'll tell you, all right, do this and do that. All right, do you feel comfortable putting your hand there? And they might say no, so then they'll be like, okay, change. So yeah,
it's always about consent with everybody.
yeah.
So that's the thing. Do you think that Ace wants Inkz to live his lifestyle?
You know what? I think like Ace being the older and obviously Inkz being younger, I feel like with Ace, he's always gonna know inside that what he's doing is wrong because he was once a younger himself.
Yeah.
So if he was to be once a younger himself and being in Inkz's shoes, someone older must have then influence him to do certain things that he probably may not want to do. In that kind of lifestyle, there's always pressure to doing things that you don't want to do, but because that pressure comes on you, it's then like, I have to do it. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Because like when I was watching it, he was very reluctant in introducing Inkz to his lifestyle. He's very like standoffish.
Yeah.
He's not like, he doesn't want him in there.
Yeah.
Do you think there's some sort of like, because they're family, innit?
Yeah.
Like, do you think there's some sort of like familiarity and be like, oh, don't get involved in my lifestyle, kid?
Yeah. At the beginning, I remember I didn't, Ace didn't want Inkz to get involved. And when Ace first met Inkz, he looked at him and like, this guy's not serious. But Inkz wanted to get involved in that lifestyle. And because he wanted to, he was like, okay, if you want to, I'll give you the opportunity and this is what you got to do for me. And obviously Inkz gets involved. I'm telling him to do certain things, but it was like there's a scene where Ace was in the car with Inkz and he was saying like, yeah, like I'm ready, but he Ace couldn't even take him seriously even in that moment then, even though Inkz wanted to do it. But because Inkz wanted to do it, it was for, you know what, all right, you gotta do what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do. You gotta go to the, I'm giving this bag, go to Brighton, deliver it, come back with the goods. Get me? So that's it, man, yeah.
No, of course. How was it with like acting with everybody on set?
No, I enjoyed working on set with everyone. Everyone was lovely, everyone was respectful, and I can learn from everyone. Like sometimes when we finish shooting, I'll have conversations with the cast and they'll just give me their little history of how they got into acting, as well as themselves as individuals. You know what I'm saying? Just maybe they might share a bit about their personal life where it could help me in my personal life. But everyone that I've worked with on set in whatever film I go into, and even Plan B, I'm glad to work with them. And it's a blessing. It's wherever I go in my acting journey, my career, I'll always remember and tell my mind that I'm here because of you guys.
Because everybody.
Everyone, yeah. So yeah.
That's beautifully put.
Yeah.
And so we had a couple of interactions, and I totally felt that how genuine you are inside, and honest with you with your own journey. And then. That was very nice.
No, I like me as a person. Like I like to be honest. I just like to keep it real with myself as well. Like I've learned quite. I'll say the last few months, like just learning like, how can you be real with others if you're not real with yourself? And I feel like sometimes, like, just long story short, like. You know when you come across people that are not real and whatnot, and then you'll be like, I don't understand. Like at the beginning, we was cool, like you was real with me, but then things change. You might see a different side to them that you thought you wouldn't see. But it just shows that with time will reveal who the person really is.
Time always cracks a mask.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. So things can happen and things do change in life, but even though it happens to everyone, you go through that stage, and but I always tell myself, okay, I will never change myself for anyone. I'm gonna stay who I am.
That is such a beautiful thing to think and to live it.
Yeah,
because I think it's a bit like what we're saying in the story. Doing stuff because you pressure to do it, the surroundings, especially the characters in that thing, they make people do things. But if you can stay true to yourself, and what you said earlier, knowing yourself, that is, I think you've nailed it. That's the
and I think as well, once you get to know yourself, and every day we're getting to know ourselves. But I feel like the more you get to know yourself, the more you love yourself for who you are. You might be in a sense someone might try to put pressure on you to do something. You'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do that because that is not me.
That's right.
This is who I am.
That is beautiful.
If you don't love me for who I am, then you're not gonna accept me for me as a person.
They hate us because they ain't us. That's the mentality.
So
in the interview.
So I just to summarize everything, I just stay real to myself and just be who I am and love myself. So yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
I mean, little snippets like this, little conversation like this, like now or when we had before, is like you learn. These are to me these are milestones because you have these interactions on a daily basis with people. And then sometimes these little things here is like, wow, I'm learning.
You're learning.
Yeah.
I'm taking something away from this.
Yeah.
That's making me, getting me on the right path in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of which, how did you get into character? What was your methods?
I'm coming from like an area, I'm coming from Croydon. So I'm coming from an area where a lot of people are kind of involved in that life. So it's like, I grew up kind of being around these people, but I never got involved in that lifestyle, which I didn't ever want to go into. So I kind of had to play like a bit street smart. And because I've seen how people act, how people move, how they talk, so it's kind of like it's just my surroundings. I use my surroundings around me and put myself into that character, and that's it.
Nice.
In a way, what you've done is you've done the same thing you said, because you stayed true to yourself without following the pack.
Yeah.
This is what your neighborhood's doing. This is what your environment's doing. But you didn't do that. You stayed true to yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Perfect. So I've got questions for you, Inkz. How was acting as Inkz? Did you find it like easier, or do you find it difficult?
Well, funny enough, I was thinking about it like earlier, and it touched on what Eric said a bit. It was like when I was sort of in the car and stuff like that, and like I was kind of thinking, that's kind of me in a sense reliving my youth, because I know like in the same way I could have gone down that path like really, I wouldn't say easily, but like it couldn't, like some people I know could have, or etc. etc. So being this sort of 16-year-old for me was kind of a chance to, in a sense, relive that lifestyle and stuff like that. And I do know people that have gone down that way or have close to being like stuff like that. So it was I'll say it was easy because I kind of watched those sort of films, and I remember like people were comparing it to like Top Boy, which had sort of similar elements, etc. And stuff like that. Yeah, and just I would say it's not that hard. It wasn't that hard getting into sort of character, so to speak. I'll say the difficult elements were, I'll say like, I'll say the difficult elements, which I touched on earlier. I'll say more like what to do with your hands and stuff like that. And I'll say some elements of the script, because it was different to the way I talk naturally. So having to sort of make sure I, wasn't either sort of taking, what's the word, like freestyling basically, or, trying to stick to the natural script rather than change it to the way I naturally talk. I'll say that was like the hardest thing that I found, like playing Inkz.
Yeah, it's like ad-libs and all that.
Yeah.
But this was your first time doing acting, innit?
Yeah.
Like, would you see yourself doing this, like, more?
Honestly, like, I can't say yes, I can't say no, just because I never know where sort of life takes me. Like, I try to be more open to, like, a lot of things. Like, I never thought I would ever find myself acting. Like, growing up, I never thought I'd, like, the only acting I ever did was, like, the, I say, Key Stage 2 production of Britain's Got Talent. So, like, the only ever acting I ever done was, like, that. And, like, I'd say if people enjoyed it, then, yeah, like, or if the script writer wants me back, then yeah, sure.
Did you apply for the role, or were you?
No, I was just giving it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just giving it. Blessed with my lucky gene. So. Yeah. So like.
You were discovered.
Yeah, it's just so much happened to me, and it's just so much I've never expect. So I just, I can't. I always say my plans never go to plan. So I never planned to be an actor, but like it's always just nice to be oh yeah, I'm a professional actor. Because fun story, it was like I was working at a show and I was telling these people I'm a professional actor, a professional DJ, etc. So they didn't believe me. I was like, check out my Insta. They found me, and then they wanted the set list for some show that I was working at or whatever, and then I met them up. And then I was telling them, oh yeah, I'm going to Amsterdam. Have you ever been? And then they're like, no, but we're going on this day. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going the same day as you. And then so we ended up meeting up, and we had a great time in Amsterdam together. And it was just that's what I mean. It's just my plans never go to plan, because my plan was really just go by myself, etc. But then I end up meeting them and going around with them, etc. It's just, you never know what happens in life. So it's, I'll say plan, but
you had a plan B.
Yeah. They were my plan B in a good way.
That's good. Yeah. Do you see your character having a love interest in the future?
I don't know.
I hope mine does. I did reiterate that earlier.
You did.
I don't know. It's up to the script writer. Some people like bad boys. Some people don't. you know, it's honestly it's up to the script writer. Like, if it makes it, if it's natural, then yeah, sure. If it's not like, then sure, why not? But I'm not in control of my own destiny.
Yeah, man. Inkz some paper, bro. What do you think about Inkz and about his lifestyle? Do you think he's just drawn into it?
I kind of think he's unlucky. For, you know, like no one wants to have their parents die. You know, it's hard. Like you're left with a big hole in your life, especially at a young age. And it sort of shows that like what he's done or like what he could have done. Like you can see like you know, in like one of the scenes or whatever, he's in the cafe, like, you know, closing up with his dad, and you know, he could easily be doing something else. And that takes a lot of not say faith, but like, you know, you need to have a lot of respect and a lot of love for your dad to be like, you know, willing and able to do that. Like, because, you know, you could easily be like at home or away, or, you know, have a lot of hatred for like your father figure. And it's hard to spend from like a, you know, develop from like a young age, so to speak. Like, you know, you can't just, you know, your father has to be with you and support you and stuff like that. Like, you know, do want to sort of stay with them. So to lose someone, especially someone close to you, is like hard or like really harsh. And, you know, it then sort of shapes a lot of your future.
Yeah.
Because you are, you know, he was very unlucky to lose his dad at like such a young age, and in the way that he did as well. So, you know, it's harsh, and I feel sorry for him in a way, like, you know, because you can't bring that back. That is like one part of your life. You can't bring that. It takes two people to like raise someone, and, you know, once that other person's already gone, and then the other person really goes away, then
it's bad. So Dariusz, how is this production different to any project you've worked on before?
Oh my god, that's it's so different actually.
How so?
I found it so refreshing. Nice. It was like, I don't know about you, what you other guys thought, but I thought it was wonderful. It was freestyling. It was like freedom to do things, going with the flow, feeding off the energy of what was going on around the room. It was like, wow, it was amazing. Nice. So comparing it to some of the production, was everything, every single, you know, even nuance in how you pronounce things has to be exactly how it was predetermined. There's no freedom to feed off somebody. Whereas here, so that itself, wonderful people. I think that was the other thing, is everybody was, like what you said, genuine, real people. And I think when I found when I was working on bigger productions, there's lots of people who are kind of living other people's lives or striving for fame, success, or whatever, and maybe attracts this kind of person, you know, in these places where, and then there's this hierarchy, and no, I'm the big shot, and I'm an even bigger shot, and then you just, there was none. It was like a team, and it. So to me, the atmosphere, the people, you know, the conversations, that was it was beautiful.
Yeah. Nice.
The third aspect was. So credit to the director and the writer, etc. is finding these little things in every one of us and then going for it. Okay, this is good, because then you're opening yourself up to things which you could never ever could have dreamt of.
Yeah.
But then these are the beautiful moments which make it special, I think.
No,
so these are the kind of you know, the three things which I thought big difference from other places.
Course, man. So have you done any like spirals before? If so, like, would you play like more of them in the future?
Yes. So I've often been told I don't have a face for like a gangster, but actually I get cast a lot for these type of things, and I think I've been told is there's something in the way I look sometimes. It's like you can. The first thing is like, okay, friendly guy, but actually there is something else going on behind that you can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yes, I would definitely do it, and I do enjoy it. It gives us another dimension to the character rather than just a thug baddie or lovey-dovey type of nice person. So yeah, I do enjoy these roles.
No, yeah, of course. So, what would happen to your character in the future? Do you think a romance would like show a different side to your character?
Yes, I think so.
Nice.
I think he would. Yeah.
Hopefully you get a love interest in it.
Whoa!
Fingers crossed. So, Simon,
Yes.
what is next for your character?
I did say that earlier. Monte Carlo, supermodel. No, yeah. That's down to the script writer, but no. A charmed life, eternal youth, like this one here. Just lots of champagne, warm weather, not like this freezing cold weather. Bundles of money around the apartment, cigars, sea view. That's it. Yeah, that would be the dream. That's down to the scriptwriter.
Yeah, of course. But with your acting career, how did you get into it?
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Well, I was in a band in the 80s, which we don't talk about.
What band is it?
I wore a lot of makeup. I wore a lot of makeup, and so yeah, things happened. We were kind of well known. I don't like to talk about it too much. I think you can Google me. It's pretty awful when you see some of the stuff. And then I had my hair cut. I said I'd never get it cut, and I had my hair cut on an American TV show as a makeover about my life. And the show went on to win an Emmy, which I felt like a fraud. Ooh. And then all the acting roles started coming in. So I was in EastEnders, The Bill, so countless things. Just done. I was filming. I think the director knows I was filming earlier this year with Keanu Reeves. It was surreal. Yeah, it was just bizarre. So yeah, I've been lucky. And also my best friend is one of the world's biggest casting directors. So that kind of that does help, but he can only recommend you as a casting director. It is the actual director themselves has to, you still have to do the auditions. So I've been blessed. It's been blessed. Yeah. So that's it really. Life story.
So Juliana, what is next for your character?
I've also answered that question. We keep talking about a romance happening.
Come to Monte Carlo with me. Let's cut straight to the chase, darling. Let's not go EasyJet. Let's go Heathrow, classy. British Airways. Let's go. Let's not go Ryanair.
Elisa and Mark.
Let's take our own bags.
A good match.
I think so.
I think the thing is, our personalities are kind of similar, isn't it? So I don't know if it would.
Who needs speed data when you've got this? Thank you, Lord. I did like your character actually, because I'm normally sort of quite cocky and arrogant in my other characters, and it was nice because you actually put me on the video phone, literally put me in my place. Dominatrix kind of thing. Like, oh yes. Sorry.
It definitely didn't feel natural for you.
Yes.
I sensed it.
It did. No, but we were so disorganised that day as well. Do you remember? We had no signal in the middle of nowhere. It was all going wrong. The script had changed. We had that as well with the script with you. It was changed.
I remember. Was it the restaurant?
You had the wrong script. He'd been rehearsing. The poor lad. He came in. It was the hottest day of the year, and we were in a steaming hot cafe near Croydon, and they were open. They were putting the fat fryers on. Do you remember I was sweating? Just like this. I've never known nothing like it.
Dripping in sweat.
Right.
And of course, then you had to really learn. I admire you for this because you'd obviously learn the dialogue, and it is quite intensive with the mind games and the emotions and different scripts. And you had to improvise. But that was. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. But that was down to you. Luckily, I didn't have to change my script, so it was down to you. You did really well. You imagine that's really hard.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Really hard.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what's coming for her. I would like to see a bit of her soft side. I would like the audience to get to know. A bit of a soft Elisa, or maybe where she came from, or to see her as, an ordinary person.
No, of course.
With feelings, and rather than just the boss lady, that has everything under control. Even though clearly she doesn't. But I think it would be nice to see the other side of the coin.
No, of course. How did you get into this? Well,
I did another project with the director, and And yeah, he just rang me. He was like, you know what, you would be perfect for this. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you very much. yes, I do. Thank you, I accept. No, yeah, it was kind of like a natural thing that happened. And then I like the way he kind of modified Elisa's background to match my own. That was really nice, and it made me relate to her a bit more. Yeah, and I love the freedom that he gave me in terms of the script as well. And going back to what you said, because Elisa, naturally born Portuguese, she spent a lot of time in Spain with Marcus, indeed. And so when the script came, I was like, oh, can we add? Actually, the director said, can you add if it was Spanish words in there? And I was like, yeah, sure, and let's do it.
Nice.
And yeah, and I liked that that freedom. Yeah, it was a natural thing that just happened.
Nice. That's really good. That's really good.
So that's a wrap on Brilliant Talks podcast. Brilliant Masterful Transcript. This is episode 1 with Plan B main cast. Not everyone could come out, but just like to say thank you to them and wait for episode 2 in a couple months.
Woo!
Woo!